actually takes us to our third and final point with how we managed during quarantine. Just to review: 1, be creative; 2, healthy time apart; and 3, we sat, turned the TV off, and had a lot of deep introspective conversations about like our lives and just like the state of like society and just like the world. It was a heavy year. So we just checked in and just see how each other was really feeling about it. I mean, like we didn't we were kind of just going through the motions of our our married life, but was like, yo, let's really talk about what's going on. Like, how do you personally feel affected by this in a way that I don't know? Is there a way are you not communicating exactly how you're feeling? Me personally, like if I'm feeling a kind of way, my wife will be the first one to know, because I gotta get it out. Like, so I'm definitely gonna tell her no matter what it is. Yeah. And then now she's at a point, she do the same with me. So we'll shut off everything. Like, TV, and we could. That's how this podcast started. Yeah. We'll talk for like
hours.
2, 3, 4. Like, I remember one time during, I think it was I don't know. It was probably like sometime during the summer. We was talking until like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We was with each other all day, talking all day.
Just talking.
Like, and we'll just, and that's when we really dig deep.
That's how we became friends.
Yeah, that's how we got tight. And that was the start of our relationship, and we kept that going throughout our marriage, and we took a deeper dive during this concentrated time home.
The first topic of discussion was the news and how this pandemic was coming. And when I say I had to give Sebastien a news alert every 30 minutes, and our mayor of the town at the time.
We had Baraka screaming at us all the time anyway.
I'm like, he said this. Oh, he said this. Oh, we got to do this because this time. Oh, we have a curfew, babe. Like, I would have to update him.
Was not playing with y'all.
Every single time about what's happening, because I was literally his personal news anchor because he just hated the news. And at the start of everything, I was just on social media. I was on CNN.
It was just so depressing.
I was on this streaming platform.
It was just too depressing, yo. Like, I was already in my funk with like just my job alone. Like, I didn't need that.
I didn't need extra.
Hey, this just in. 43 people died now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like, all right, man.
I had to tell him how many people were affected in our city, how many people were affected in our state. Like, he was just learning from me.
I didn't know what that was. Like, I honestly felt like that was information I did not need to know. I mean, like,
I didn't know that at first.
But because, like, I get it. I get how serious this is.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was affecting you like that at first.
Man, it was just annoying, man.
And as we were talking about it, I had to literally lean off of giving him too many updates. I still wanted to know myself, so I would just watch during work or listen during work.
You still do.
I still do. But I didn't update him as much because I recognized this is not, conducive to his mental health. It's just not working out for him. No. And so if he asked, then I would give him the info. If he didn't ask, I would just stick to it and then just give him what he needs to know and just say, you need to do it by this time because by 8 o'clock there's curfew and all of that stuff, like if he wanted to go out the house or whatever.
I mean, yeah, like that kind of knowledge.
Yeah, he would need to know.
I was cool with knowing. I wanted to know. Yeah. I wanted to know like all the CDC guidelines and all that stuff. Like, and that is what I paid attention to. But like in regards to like just the news anchors saying like literally the same thing, and when they had the numbers like on the screen, I'm sure I don't know if they still do now, but
they still do.
Yeah, like it was just I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was depressing.
Yeah,
like those are real lives of the real people. Those are real lives being taken from real people, and I was just I was tired of that. Yeah. And then I started. I knew people that were personally affected. Like I was just done. I'm like, yo, could we let's please watch something like lighthearted.
And then when he would fall asleep, I'll put CNN
so switch it back, and then I'll wake up like at 3 a.m. and see it on. I'm like, yo, she done
switched it over to CNN.
I hear it in my dream.
You didn't hear it.
That's a fact.
Your
that's
dream?
A fact.
Okay.
Not all of them, but just
okay.
Here and there.
But anyways, we had to deeply talk about that affecting him because he had to verbally tell me, babe, this is depressing.
But here's the thing, like not just for me. My wife also happens to be pretty paranoid.
I am so paranoid, you guys.
So I'm like, yo, babe,
I'm so paranoid.
This ain't helping you either. In
I
fact,
don't know, but I
probably
couldn't get
doing
off.
worse.
I couldn't stay off of it.
But I was just like, what new thing are they telling you that you feel like you really got to hear?
There was a new update detail every day.
No,
when they talked about no smell, no taste, I was like, what? I had to go, like, I was listening to somebody on Instagram, and she was the first one I learned it from, and she was like, she went to the doctor, and she was like, I can't smell, I can't taste, and the doctor was like, yeah, that's probably a new symptom, and she was like, there's new symptoms, and I was like, there's new symptoms, like, it was just chaos.
I mean, look, I understand that, and granted, like, there was a lot of, like, I
just had to know, I needed to know what we were dealing with. I'm paranoid, but
as this freaking,
to be educated.
This blitzkrieg was unleashed on this country, let alone the world. Like, I get it. Like, there was, it was definitely, and the doctors could not explain this thing. They were still figuring it out. So, granted, there was a lot of new information being out. Yeah. I mean, coming out, and I understand, like, yeah, definitely, you want to know what's going on. Yeah. And I did understand that. So, I tried not to complain all the time, but.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it was
one of the times it was only 3 symptoms on the CDC, right? That's the time when I kept checking the CDC.
Yeah.
And something happened. I don't know. I don't remember. And you were like, but that's not a symptom. I was like, nah, there's more symptoms. You want to see?
Yeah.
You were like, what? Like, there wasn't only 3 symptoms. And I just had to be informed. And we had to deeply talk about how depressing this news was, how I had to stay off because my paranoia was getting a little too overwhelming for him because it didn't make him feel any more comfortable or even make him feel like he just wanted to get away from that stuff. And we had to deeply talk about it for me to just be like, okay, I'm not going to overwhelm you.
I mean, like, and see, and that's another thing, because I didn't want you to, like, cut off, like, if that's something you want to do, and if that, I mean, I don't know what the news necessarily does. I mean, well, all right.
I just like to be informed.
You just want to be informed.
Yeah.
So it does do something for you.
Make sure if the world is ending, baby, pack your stuff. Let's go. We got to be out, you know?
It's slow. If God coming, that's it. I'm not packing. It's over. I'm out. All right. It's over. We here.
But I just want to make sure, if one of us got to know, we can't be oblivious to what's happening.
Well, I mean, no, I feel you.
Okay.
I get it. Somebody, I don't know. It was just, but when you're watching the news, like, every single day, like, it starts to get to a point where it's like, yo, I'm really just tired of hearing this, because you start to hear it. Like, I used to watch the news every single day when I was in college, and I stopped because I was just like,
me too.
I'm hearing this. I just got tired of, mainstream media, like, you're just gonna start hearing the same thing, and to the point where you feel like they just feeding you a bunch of nothing. And that's just me and my little, my conspiracy way of thinking.
That's your mental. That's how you mentally absorb and receive things.
Well, from them.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, granted, you still want to be informed of certain things. Even though I couldn't help but to get the quote. Well, I couldn't help but to keep thinking of that quote. I forgot who said it, but I forgot who it was. But to watch the news, if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. But if you do watch it, you're misinformed.
Oh.
I forgot
I don't believe everything that the news says. It's just that's some type of guide for me. It's kind of like everything that's happening with the government at this time. After watching Scandal, that changed my life. So I don't know if everything they tell us is real, but it's a guide. That's what they say. That's what I tell you. What they saying, this is happening. So let's just be cautious.
They saying
it.
Yeah.
So we're going to choose what we want to do. How we going to deal with it.
I feel you.
We had deep talks about the racial climate.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's where
that was like a majority. That was a majority of our conversation.
Of the pandemic. Well, that was the second pandemic that we were dealing with, pretty much.
Yeah, she blocked me from going to one of the marches. I was trying to go to the one in Newark. She was like, "Oh, nah, you ain't going down there." I said, "Oh, damn."
I didn't block you.
I'm just trying to fight with my people. You feel me?
I definitely was strongly aggressive with my opinion.
Yeah, that's stopping me.
And
all my married guys, y'all know.
I was strongly opinionated with how I felt about that march because it was still at the height of the first pandemic, and the numbers were not going down.
Well, yeah, okay, no, you good.
And I'm not going to be comfortable with my husband in the streets, not socially distanced. I mean, yeah, you have a mask, but we don't know what you could come home with and how, because at that time, it's still contagious. It's still crazy contagious. And now there's this new strain. It's just too much. So at that time, I was just like, yeah, no, I don't want you out there. I don't want you to come home and bring that to me. I just literally came over a flu. Let's just not do that. You can donate if you want, buy black if you want, be on your social platform if you want. Just do that. They will still see you supporting the movement. Like, there are people who are outside. There are people who are financial donors. There are people who vent on their platforms. You know, there's just ways that you can support.
Everybody playing their part?
That you could play your part.
I'm saying I've done all of that except for actually be a part of a march. So I was like, yo, that would have just been a dope experience.
When the first pandemic is over, because we've been getting killed with everything. Literally, we were already talking about the height of black people not receiving the best health care, and we were dying from the COVID-19 the most, and then now you want to go outside and catch it. See, that's how passionate I was, you guys. I was just like, this you're not making any sense. You're just not making any sense.
I'm actually going to let y'all in on something that's, I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. Since, y'all are listeners, y'all tuned in for the first.
About to say?
We had like 14 episodes in the first season. Y'all tuned in, y'all listened, y'all been real, y'all been real patient with our return. So I'm just gonna be really honest and just let y'all in on a little secret that I found out a couple months ago. And what I've realized is I'm COVID proof.
You know what?
I can't catch it. My immune system is fire.
Do you realize how ignorant you sound right now?
Do you realize that I ain't got no damn COVID?
Do you realize that black people said that they couldn't catch it at first when this whole thing blew up?
I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about Sebastien, Francois. Okay. Damn it.
All right. Anyway.
Yo, my white blood cells. They're little gangsters in there. They be fighting for me.
Anyway.
Hard body.
Oh,
like, I really don't be getting sick.
Please spare him, because I do not want him to catch it because he's talking reckless. But I really want to be serious.
For the record, y'all, I'm not outside just, licking stop signs or nothing stupid or whatever the hell.
But you're not outside always covering your nose and mouth either.
Shaking everybody's hand.
Okay, let's just real talk. You want to talk real talk? Do you want to get yeah? You want to go talk about real talk about how you're not really as safe as you should be when you're out the house?
My mask is on.
Your mask is not on. You know where it is? Under your chin.
And it's right back on my nose. But it don't matter anymore because I can't catch it. So it don't even matter if it's like,
stop playing with me. I'm not playing with you. Let's just not even go there, okay? Hey, so I'm not gonna allow.
By the way, no disrespect to anybody that has actually caught it. Yeah. Fought it off. By the way, no disrespect. Because you know what I'm saying, you're a fighter and a champion. Like no funny nothing. No, all jokes aside. You feel me?
My husband is not responsible, and then on top of that, he wants to go on a march with thousands of people.
My mask would have never came down for that march.
This is what
way
frustrates
too many people.
Me.
You know my mask would have been on.
No, this is what the problem is. I don't know that because I've seen you as I was around you.
I wasn't around thousands of people.
What is the difference? One person to 1,000 people? That's the difference? That one person can still have it. One person can still have it.
I've seen you around one person with no mask, but you're not going to be around 1,000 people with no mask. There's a difference.
That's the difference?
I know one person
person could still... Exactly. There's still a chance for you to catch it.
Look, I get it. I understand that.
Oh, do you?
But you got to understand
because you're making an argument about it.
No, because you do that is what I'm saying.
Because I do what?
Baby, I've seen you with no mask on in front of a person, but I know that if you were in front of like 50, 100, 200 people, that mask would not come down.
You know what the great point about that point that you just made? I know for a fact that you would have still had your mask off around those 1,500 people.
Mine would have been, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't play those games. Whatever. That's way too many people.
He went to this Juneteenth celebration, right?
Socially distanced?
No, you were not socially distanced. There's pictures to prove it. Okay, I have photos that actually...
That's only one picture.
There's only one picture to still proof.
Only one
picture. That's a receipt. There's a receipt, and it doesn't matter. It's only
away
one
from all them
picture,
Henny
but there
drinking
were
niggas.
Instagram stories with this man, no mask on, and he
What
was
story
not
was I on?
You posting the stories. No mask
I ain't
on.
post a story of me.
No mask on. Not socially distanced. Still
Nah,
chilling.
I was definitely socially distanced.
All right,
Baby, that park is
You
huge.
were socially distanced with other groups, but you were in a group
I wasn't in
with.
I was. Oh, you talking about
Come
this?
on, man. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I know what I saw. Like, come on. We're not about to play lawyer right now. You're not to be trusted going outside and trying to bring back Rona in here. Like, let's just real talk about this. This is why we have to talk about these deep conversations. This is why we on deep conversations. Because I really had a problem with you not being, like, you were not being responsible, and now you want to talk about some. I was just in this group. That's still too much. Like, it was too much for me.
She's screaming at me. How y'all feel about that?
Deep conversations. Have deep conversations with your husband and wife and your mate.
Let me reel it back. And
I'm frustrated
let me bring
now,
it back. Hold up.
And you're better now, but I'm frustrated because
Hold
you're
up.
trying to combat me
Hold
on
up.
these points. And
by the way,
ask about going to a march.
Everybody that that's met my wife, she seemed real quiet in person, right? Tune into the podcast and you hear her getting real spicy. This is who she is at home.
No, this is not who I am at home. This is just this is not who I am, because you wouldn't want them to know, like, how I be going in, Monsieur Francois.
Well, anyway, let me reel this back, and I'm gonna just say this. Hey, look,
you were not responsible. Just be honest.
Not as much as I could have been.
Okay, thank you.
But listen, this whole thing was a challenge, yo. It was something new to really accept as a new reality. So I didn't pass every test, but I still tried to make sure I was as safe as I can be at times. Most of the time, I'll even say. I know sometimes I didn't, but I took that COVID test and I ain't have no COVID.
Okay, yo. And why did you have to take the COVID test?
I took the COVID test because I was around somebody who was 2 weeks prior to me knowing I was around somebody that ended up catching it. So I caught it. So I'm not my bad.
And why were you
so
nervous
I took
about
the test
taking the test?
Just to be safe.
Because you knew you was out here riding dirty. Why were you nervous?
No, because when I was around the person, I was safe.
You. I want to catch Rona with you.
Come with me.
You were on the phone talking about something. Baby, you sure you don't want to come with me?
Come with you.
Come with you to go take the test.
Oh, take the test? Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to take the test?
No, I didn't. No, you didn't say for me to come take the test. You wanted me to be emotional support.
No, I wanted you to take the test. That's why I said I wanted you to come with me. I didn't need emotional support to get something stuck up my nose. By the way, that feels. If any of y'all took it, that feels crazy.
Let me tell you.
I feel like they took. I feel like I don't know algebra no more. Like they wiped a couple things up there. But you know what it felt like? It felt like when you ever got like water in your nose and you like inhaled. That's how that felt like. And then I had like even like a small headache like later that day. Like it just felt weird. I actually want to take another one. I feel like that's something that we should just be taking, whether you're exposed or not, just so you know what's going on. You need to be. We both gotta be doing that. As long as we outside, how contagious it is, we should just take it just to know.
Well, we're not outside.
No, I'm talking. No, we are. I'm not. It's not about just. I'm talking about just going outside for anything. Like whether we just go anywhere.
Well,
it's now with this new strain, we should just be taking it now.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna be taking it now. I am going to take it if I feel like I was exposed or I feel some certain symptoms. I did feel there was one day during the pandemic that I was really sick, right? It was just I don't know if it was a stomach bug or what have you. It was just crazy. It was a crazy day. And I threw up. I felt really, really sick. It was so much pain that I was dealing with. And I was very paranoid. I thought I had the corona. And I was so mad at Monsieur Francois, even during my sickness.
You find ways to just be mad at me.
I find ways to be mad at you, for real.
I ain't mean it. I just said it. That was just for the people.
Oh, you didn't mean it. Okay.
We gotta keep him entertained. I've been lying this whole time. We gotta keep him entertained. You think I got on this to be honest?
I'm gonna just keep going. Let's just move on.
No. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was so mad and so frustrated with this man because I thought that he had brought home Rona. Promise you.
She was wild.
I'm
going to take out the trash. Hey, you better wash them Rona hands. I'm like, damn.
I was. And I was so upset. And then we had just came from a family gathering because this was the time where stuff started opening up. And then we went to your family's house and we saw family. And I promise you, I was so mad. I was mad at the world because I thought I was sick. And the fact that he has a better immune system than I do, I'm thinking it's hitting me real hard. He walking around undetected, everything. And I'm just like, you need to stop going. Like, I'm just so frustrated.
But if my immune system's so fire.
All right, let's just get to the point.
That means I wouldn't catch it in the first place, right?
All in a nutshell, it was just, I don't know what that was. It was not pregnancy. It was just, I guess it's whatever. And
yeah, you jumped on that like,
because that's what they gonna think. They gonna be like, oh, he was pregnant. No,
now they thinking that.
No, I know my friends. So basically, it was not corona. It was just probably a stomach bug, something I might have ate because we did order. We were cooking a lot at first, but then we started to ordering, and that was like one of our first meals that we ordered, and I was just like, yo.
I mean, I was about to plug him, but I don't want to do that just in case that's the reason why you threw up. But but I mean, I was confused because we order from that spot all the time.
Yeah, but anywho, I was upset and I was just that's when we had a real deep conversation. I'm just like, you cannot go to these places and have your mask off, just like how we just had a little tiff right now. Like, we had to really sit each other down, or had to sit him down, and he was just nervous because he's looking at me in pain, and he's just like, yo, I don't know. I mean, like, I think he was still in denial, like, okay, I don't know if I brought it home or if I didn't.
Well, no, I didn't think. I was just like, yo, what is this? It didn't give me. I didn't get any Rona vibes really. It just looked. It looked like some kind of stomach bug or something like that you had. Like, it looked like some kind of food poisoning like type thing. Like, okay. That's the vibe. That's the vibe I got from you. But I was still incredibly concerned. I'm like, all right, well, let's I gave you the bed. Like, your stomach was like hurting, pain. You couldn't even sleep.
So much pain.
Like, so you get the bed and all that stuff. I slept on the couch. I'm gonna give you your space, and cause I know you needed it. And then that next morning you were fine. Like,
I was just fine.
You were perfectly fine.
I was fine. And then
like the whole thing didn't happen.
Because I was so paranoid. Of course, it wasn't
me.
Rona symptoms, but I was so paranoid that I was just like, yo, can we just be responsible? Like,
man, I was at the studio. She called me, and she was like, yeah, don't overreact and don't speed home. That's what she said. She was like, but I'm really sick, and I think you said you threw up or about to throw, something like that.
Mm-hmm. I felt nauseous, and I felt like throwing up.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm out of here. So don't speed home. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Drove like 90 all the way home. I drove to like 4 Walgreens that were all closed. Like, I missed all. I went to like 2, one in East Orange, 2 in Belleville, one in, just going all over trying to find like an open one because it was at that point it was like heading towards midnight, and I knew Walgreens for being open 24, but I think they had closed them earlier on that time. I think something.
Yeah,
like that.
Everything was on curfew.
Yeah, on curfew. Yeah, so
it was chaos, and
so
I was just
I felt
losing
defeated. I'm like, damn, I couldn't make
it.
Couldn't make it in time for none of those, and then like, yeah, we had to manage. But the next day, he was cool. He was good, and that was wild. But then,
and it caused us to have a deep conversation.
Yeah, man, we had to keep those going. I mean, like, yo, listen, this was a very different year. Accepting this new reality was hard. So it was hard to embrace. But granted, the consequences could be severe if you didn't.
Yeah, so, I think another spark of us just. I'm sorry, baby. I keep cutting you off.
No, that was it.
I think another thing that really sparked us to really deeply talk is when I had a breakdown after George Floyd's death. And I think what hit me was the way that it wasn't being talked about in my environment. I think what hit me was my job was amazing with, frontline workers, heroes, and, we have to, how's everybody doing, and all of that, right? And just being great with checking in, touching base, right?
I heard why they were doing that. They're white.
Man, I can't.
That's just something somebody told me. I don't know if it's
So yeah, just being really awesome with taking pulse checks. We're here for you. All of that, right? Because people cannot cope in the pandemic. Nobody could cope, right? But nobody understands that we've been dealing with a pandemic since birth, before birth, for hundreds of years.
They don't want to talk about that. It makes them feel uncomfortable.
And when that happened, it was like silence. No, we're here for you. No, how you doing?
Nope.
No, how you feeling? No, heroes or
none of that.
Injustice, nothing.
Mm-mm.
And it triggered me so bad. Because I was all in like, yeah, mental health, heroes, hotlines, all of that. You know what I mean? And the environment that I'm in for really majority of my weeks didn't check in to see how we were doing.
Nope.
And on top of that, I didn't watch the video. I still have not watched the video. I have not watched the video in its entirety. I've seen clips online, and that was all I needed. On top of that, I have been literally a paranoid freak. And just to watch somebody die like that just killed my spirit. My husband could have been that person. My father could have been George Floyd. My brothers could have been George Floyd. I have friends who could have been George Floyd. And it triggered me so bad. And nobody checked in to see how you doing. It triggered me so bad. It tore me up because when you're busy, you're at work and stuff is moving, you're commuting and all that stuff. But we're at home now and we have to face it and we have to deal with our emotions. And I'm an internal person who stresses. I'm an internal stressor. I deal with them differently and I have to face my emotions. My husband is having a hard time being home. You know what I mean? Somebody in our community died horrifically. It was just you could have just said that they lynched the man in this modern day. That's how bad it was.
It's modern day lynch.
And I didn't have an outlet. We were just going through too much mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
And I think I was triggered by them being so we're here to silence.
We're here to a fault, basically.
Yeah.
But
and so
talking about this,
I think that so I had to. I don't know what I did, but it came up in a one-on-one meeting because a day had went by. And it came up with a one-on-one, and I ended up crying.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up crying. But it was crying with somebody I trusted at my job, who's a mentor, who is a mentor to me, actually. And she opened up because I opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was needed because we ended up writing notes, writing letters. She was close to the leadership organization of the organizations that we were part of, and I was a part of the Black Employee Network in our company, and I just reached out to that lead. It was kind of like we were silenced because we didn't have that open door that was open for everybody else, and it was kind of like, okay, so we're gonna be quiet because nobody else is saying anything. But because we opened up to each other, it sparked something in us to just say, okay, well, we have to say something because we're suffering in silence. Mm-hmm. And after that, it was just like a snowball effect because everybody started talking at work, and then I started venting to you, and then I started breaking down at home. I was triggered. I was so triggered because this has happened for a long time. This has been happening. But I think what made it worse for me is that I had to face the music. I couldn't just brush it off by being busy. I couldn't just go outside. I couldn't just, it was just like you had to face it. How do you deal with that? And you have nothing to take your mind off of it. And then nobody to ask, how are you doing? You know what I'm saying? People are dying left and right. You're hearing that the black community is getting is mostly getting affected by this. And then for you to, on top of it, kill one of ours so horrifically like that. And still to this day, not be charged or not be sentenced or anything like that. To this day. So it was just hard. That conversation was, I think I probably cried like 3 times that day, 4. And I resonate with anybody who's had even a tougher time than I did if you've ever had to go through something like that. In our household, Mr. Francois has gone through a similar experience. Not, to God be the glory that he has not lost his life over it, but just having it so close to home and experiencing that emotion and just thinking about the black men in my lives. And then on top of that, Ahmaud Arbery. And then Breonna Taylor. It was just like, yo, like, can we get a break? 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 We cannot walk outside. We can't live our normal lives. We can't take a break from our house, from work or whatever, because everything's in the house. And all of this is happening concurrently. Can we get a break? You okay? You all right? Babe? You okay?
I thought that was a part of what you were saying.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Can we get a break? And I don't think we could get a break. I don't think we could get a break. Yeah. So it was hard. It was hard. And it's still hard. Because now look at what just happened. But we'll talk about that soon enough. But it was deep. And I think you were the one that was just like, yo, I've never seen you like this.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been affected by stuff like this for years. And I'll communicate those feelings to her, and then
I'll try to.
Oh well, you know, pray about it. Which, no offense, but that don't really do nothing.
I didn't say it like that. I didn't say only pray about it. No, I would say I understand, babe.
Yeah, I understand.
I
pray about
totally
it. Totally
get it, and this is just.
No, like, but you're right. That's what I should do. But you know, it wasn't cutting it at the time. But this was the first time I seen more of that emotion from you, and it was when that reporter had got arrested live on the air. That's when
I lost my mind.
That's when I was really like, I remember I was working I had just logged into work, and I actually just took some time and I didn't even say nothing to like bosses. I spoke to one of my other coworkers who was the only other black coworker, and we had like a side conversation about it. Like, yo, I just checked in with him and said, bro, how you feeling with all this, and how you dealing with that? And he told me how he was feeling, and then, two allies checked in with me. Shout out to those 2 allies. They checked in, made sure I was all right. But the bosses I actually work for, they ain't doing not one check-in, which is cool. I'm gonna say, no, it's not cool, but like, y'all not, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not about to do that. Y'all don't care nothing about what's going on. I know y'all don't care about me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't expect y'all to do nothing like that. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? We don't got no relationship. But the people that I do deem as, like, friends, I was kind of expecting a little something. But, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you checked in, I appreciate it. If not, then, well, it is what it is. You know, I'm not, it's like, I don't need it, but, you know, it's nice. So, you know, shout out to the ones who did. But, no, it was a heavy month, heavy year in total. But the racial tension was at an all-time high in 2020. But specifically those 2 months, like June and July, it was like at its peak. Like, but black businesses were actually doing much better.
Yeah,
that was like one of the upsides to it. Like, you know, shout out to this. Shout
They're
out
thriving
to
now.
Like, there is a restaurant called Reds in Orange. You know, we used to order from them a lot, and they, you know, we had to call in like 2 or 3 hours in advance just to get food at a decent hour because all of the orders they was getting all the time. Like, you know, And shout out to all the other black businesses that thrived during that time. I mean, it's a damn shame that it took for takes for a man to die for people to be like, you know what, like, let me just support my black brother now, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We really just need to operate like that,
yeah,
all year round,
yeah,
throughout the good and the bad.
yeah.
And I hope, and I don't know if it's still at the same height as it was last year. We should have just kept it up there, and
We do.
and all these companies that, Netflix had their little Black Lives Matter thing on the
Black stories.
yeah, you know how
Where
they
was
did.
these black stories
It just
before?
it just becomes trendy, and
there's
then you
a
want to
topic- there's a
redo
name
your
for
company
it.
policy and all that.
There's
stuff.
a name for it, but I forget it.
It's just like I'm just watching it all, and when you're an actual black person, it's like
It's never. Yeah.
I'm still no offense, but
never
you
enough.
have to be foolish to really believe that. Wow, they've been really on my side all along.
Yeah.
Just
That's what it
because
is.
they throw an extra slide in the company policy.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, because I think, you know what, I want to take back what I said. I don't think the trigger. Well, it was a trigger that my workplace was not really checking in. That particular moment was the cherry on top, because in my working career, I've had experience overt racism. I've dealt with it for a number of years, and having that happen was the cherry on top. And I've never mentioned this, but it's just been a journey for me to have dealt with it firsthand like that. I've never had a police brutality experience, but I've definitely experienced racism every day for a number of years in my working career. And that coming up was a cherry on top, because in this particular experience, my job at this time did not check in. It was the toughest few months. I literally just could not handle it. And I don't know. It was just, I also did have a lot going on, but like I said, I'm an internal stressor, and I'm so good with shaking it off, dealing with it, swallowing it, moving on, and I'm great at it. But I think that at that time, you can't just go to work and keep yourself busy, because work is at home and like everything is happening.
More important than that, you gotta deal with those emotions.
Well, I dealt with it very weirdly, because you can't.
By not dealing with it.
Yeah. I think it was just all too much. It was all too much. I
mean, and that's
it was all too much.
It's understandable. None of it. I don't know what can be done that'll shock me now. Like everything going on like currently, and also what was going on then. It's all just disappointing, but it's not shocking.
Yeah.
Like straight up. And that's why I'm at with it. And I honestly felt like during this time, like I never felt more like a line in the sand was drawn. Like I really felt like, yo, you either with us or against us. Like that's straight up.
Yeah.
Like, that's
you
really how I
about
felt.
allies. I think I could count on my hand like one or two.
Of course.
Allies.
It's not
I don't have white friends.
I don't really have many
white
like that
people.
either. Yeah,
Yeah.
But that's just,
But I don't have white friends.
I mean, that's just because of the circles that we've just been around, and throughout our walks of life, it's just been with mainly minorities.
Yeah.
Like,
I've had people who reached out to me, because we did have a forum. We had an open forum, and it was just an open forum for us to talk, like the company to talk, which I told you, I think it was a ball, like it was just like a domino effect, because we were both like, okay, we need to talk to somebody, and what happened? Like everybody just silent now, right? So like we had forums, and we had to, which was great because they made it an open door for people to vent and talk. When I voiced my opinion, because again, I'm not talking. Who was venting at work? Nobody, right? So there was just a new territory for me, and they claim we're here for you, right? So I was like, all right, let me just say what I have to say and move on about it. And the amount of, oh, if you need to talk, you know, I don't know what to say. Like somebody actually told me, I didn't really know what to say. It's hard to know what to say because they are a right person. So I'm just like, well, you could at least ask, is everything okay? You know, that's how I feel. I don't know how everybody else, so I know you don't really care about people asking you how you're doing, but how are we going to check in every morning in the chat room and say, how's everybody doing today? But then when this happens, nobody says, how's everybody doing today?
It's uncomfortable. You know what? Here's
it's
the thing.
Just like,
you could do
to
that.
me, it's crazy.
You could do that with a pandemic because you know that's like, there's a bit of guilt that comes with asking that question. With that checking in, because they know that, okay, I'm white, I have privilege. With a pandemic, you know, that's nothing that's a disease. So it's easy. Like, oh, how you doing? How you feeling? But when it's a racial racial
issue. Do you think that they feel guilt, though?
So I think some people actually. I mean, like, look.
I think some people don't even think that it has anything to do with it.
It's not all of them, but some of them definitely have probably feel some white guilt because, like, yo, if you're white in America, you automatically have privilege, whether you're an ally or not. You have privilege.
Yeah.
And no matter, well, I don't know what's. If you talk to me, I'm going to be honest and bring that up. Like, I mean, it depends on how deep the conversation goes, but I'm gonna say, like, yeah, you know, but you know, yo, you got privilege. Like, I can acknowledge my male privilege in regards to like that women get in this country. So I can acknowledge my male privilege, and we need to use our male privilege to combat like injustice against like women, specifically our black women. But I feel like as a man I could do that, and I feel like white people, if y'all are real human individuals, like y'all should do that in regards to race. You understand that you have privilege and use that, combat that to minorities. I mean, I just want to say black people. I'm gonna be honest with you, but like, you know, you got to use that privilege to help if you care about like the greater good. That's what I feel. But I feel like when a white person checks in with you, like if they don't, like, some of them don't have all of those feelings. Like, if you really, really, truly and utterly care, you're gonna just deal with all that. Like, yes, I understand. It's be like, what can I do to help? Blah, 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 and they'll be genuine about it. But some people that are checking in because it's just the right thing to do, you get to saying all the like I don't think a lot of these people, they don't really care. Like, you got your,
they don't.
You got people, you got your hardcore racists don't like black people. Okay, that's clear. You got I feel like you got your white people in the middle. That's like, that's wrong, but I'm not gonna do anything.
Right.
And then you got your, you know, you got your Jane Elliott's. The only ones you need to be associated with is the Jane Elliott's. Those two lower tiers, that's gonna be our detriment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's nice to show that you're a person, but you're not willing to do anything to fix it. Okay, then you might have. I mean, granted, your heart is not in the same place as like
before.
These like racist redneck, all these people.
Or before, because they were either knowing it, and not saying anything, and they were also knowing it and just thinking it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, I had somebody reach out to me asking me how I was, and I was saying it, and then the response was, I can't even begin to imagine how you feel, but I wrote how I felt. And the response was, I can't even begin to think how you feel. Like, I'm just like, are you here to listen, or just here to just because you feel like you have to?
But I think that's what it is. I think that's what everybody did. I think that's what all these companies did, and that's what whatever manager. I think all of them did that because they felt like this is the right thing to do. But I don't think a lot of them. I mean, no, I'm sure some of them really.
I believe some white people really
utterly cared, and it came from the heart.
But they will never understand.
No, of course not.
Like, they feel for us. I mean, I don't need these same white people who feel for us. I know that they will not be in the front lines for us, for sure. I know that.
I mean,
and I know that they will never understand.
No,
and I just feel like this is something that you will never be able to understand. But I thank you for.
Thank you for taking the time to listen and trying to understand. Like, as a man, I'll never understand what it feels like to be a woman. But I don't need that to. You know, I don't need to listen. I just know that I have privilege and I can help. If you know you got privilege and you're willing to do the work to help, then you're considered an ally in my book. It's like, all right, then cool, we could ride.
I don't have any allies. I don't just have one, and she's not a white person. She identifies as a different race, and she's not black either.
Well, then she's a minority, but still, that's still dope for her to do it, to check in with you and all that.
And that was the only people. Other than that, I have all black friends and black. I know white people, but I would not consider them friends. Like people that I've met in my life, people that I met in my career, people that I've met in my future and career journey, and I just feel like those are people that I met, but I've never gotten close to. I know friends who actually have white friends that they've told me that they had to literally unfollow them, block them. Yeah. Some people have argued with them on social media. And I have never had those experiences.
I'm watching friendships fall apart.
But you know what? You got at this time, at this moment in what we're living through right now, we're just gonna have to keep it 100 with everybody. Okay, there's no time to play friends right now, because what you've just watched and witnessed on TV, literally, you cannot feel in your spirit, in your soul, that was correct behavior, period. Like, it just, that didn't sit well with you. You just know it. Okay, so the outrage makes sense. The protesting made sense. Everything about how we reacted made sense, and it was peaceful.
Some of them.
Okay.
But
what I've witnessed were peaceful.
But I don't mind.
You mean like the brutality that some peaceful protesters got? Like,
I mean, but look, I heard that, you know what I'm saying, it was infiltrated by people,
of course, yeah, it wasn't infiltrated. It wasn't by us.
But I'm not gonna lie. Even if people on our side was burning them buildings, like, I mean. I'm about to say, I don't care. Like that the police building burning up. If a young black man did that because he was angry, then the way I see it is.
It was not a young black man though.
I'm sure it wasn't.
I'm
saying
if it was, white man.
If it was, I'll be on some my response is the same. Don't kill a black man, for all to see no more. Stop having these modern day lynchings.
Yeah,
and stop treating people like this is the response. This is the response you hate so much.
Yeah,
America created the black people that they claim they hate.
Yeah,
So
it's true. I mean,
I don't really care about.
Everything made sense.
I don't care about I just don't care about all of that because it's in response to something crazy that happened. Like Trevor Noah said back then, that's the social, it's a social contract and it was broken. So now. It's a free-for-all.
It's free.
And
that's why
you look at what happened with the Capitol.
Yeah.
It's like...
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Man,
and that's what I'm saying. Everything about it makes sense. So at this stage of the game, we're not playing... I said that too in my rant. I'm not playing phony with you. I'm not smiling in your face. Everything is not okay. And that was what spiraled into the forums. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Today, I'm not going to smile with you. I'm not going to be fake with you today. Today is a bad day, okay? And this is the time where your friends need to be your friends, okay? And what's her face? Kamora Lee Simmons' daughter said it perfect. She wrote it really well. Like, my friends who like to laugh with me, my friends who like to just, hang out and stuff like that. Am I still good enough? Because I'm black. Like, it's about the time for you to be real with me. Are you my friend or you not? You know what I mean? You like to rock my hair. You like to rock my clothes. You like to laugh with me. We have these jokes and stuff like that. But are you going to be with me when they're trying to kill me too? No, you're not. So we have to be real. At this stage of the game, there's just no more. You need to face reality. We face in reality that people are dying left and right because of a disease, a deadly disease. And now you have to face the reality that we've been dying from a deadly disease that's rooted from the time they brought us here on boats.
And this be the deep conversation that we be talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I had to stretch that one out a little bit, you feel me?
Yeah, we're still going to keep talking about it and going into the recent activity. But shouts out, before we even get to that, shouts out to our black people who's voted in the elections in November, who used their right to use their voice, who have stood in lines for hours who have dealt with the nonsense that they've been trying to bring us, they're trying to bring it to us, and we're not even taking it no more, spoon feed us nonsense, and we're not dealing with them no more. We are exercising our right, to use our voice, and we put in a president that we can tolerate, and made sure that we have now our first female black, oh my gosh, it's a black woman in office. Okay?
Man.
Shouts out to the black people, because we did that. We did that. If anybody wants a reminder, we did that. Black people did that.
But let's be clear.
Okay. Here's the pessimist.
I'm not being a pessimist.
You're not. You're being a realist.
Being a realist because we know the Democratic Party. If they don't show up, then we got to get Biden's old ass up out of here too. That's how I see it. I'm like, yeah, he's here now, but it's cute.
What is he gonna do for us?
It's just cute.
Yeah.
And Kamala being in that seat, it does look great.
Yeah.
It's a good, the optics are great.
But
like,
because now we know what to do.
If ain't no work being done,
we gonna get you out too.
We can usher them both out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we can't rely on I just,
yeah.
These politicians, to me, I just feel like you just really can't trust them.
Yeah.
I feel like we give them these big positions and they do a little bit of something and then they go about their merry way with all their money and then that's it. And then somebody else takes their spot and do the exact same thing. So I wasn't all excited. I'm not excited for Biden. I'm not excited. I'm just my thing is like, all right, bro, let's just see what you do. Let's see what goes down. And I don't really have too much faith in him like that. I'm not trying to be a pessimist and everything. But I just...
No, you're being a realist.
I didn't see that. I just didn't see that. I was not a fan of him. I just didn't see that fire in him. I only person I was actually kind of riding with was Bernie
Sanders, yeah.
But they Democrats snubbed him out twice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't really like that, but whatever.
But
his view is more aligned with mine.
We needed Biden to really take it home, though. Because it was conflicted with Bernie, too. Like, everybody was not on Bernie's team. The young people were, but...
Man, but
the people who've been voting and who's been here really went on Bernie, and that's why Biden was.
So why would they rock with Biden though? Like, why is he the optimal choice over Bernie? Just because he was next to the black guy?
No, not because he was next to the black guy. I think, in all actuality, like
Biden history not all that great.
He was favored amongst them all. He actually has. It was kind of like he pleased the masses, you know what I mean? Every single aspect. And then he didn't please the black people, and which is why he had to choose a black woman running me. And so the black people then got on
Bernie
and got him
the
in
black
there.
People, like.
He was what?
But Bernie,
he's pleasing everybody.
I know, but
he
Bernie
couldn't get the black vote yet. You know what I'm saying? He still was cheating because he didn't go to black platforms. He hadn't talked to many black radio stations or went to black shows.
He was on the Breakfast Club?
No, he wasn't.
Bernie Sanders was.
Bernie Sanders. I'm talking about Biden.
Oh, Biden.
Biden did not go to Breakfast Club. He did not. He didn't want no smoke. Like, he just was not having it. He was like, okay, just to win them over, I will have a black VP. Period. And that's what won him over.
That's cowardice to me.
It is. It's very cowardice. So that's why we're like this. We're realistic. Just like, if you don't do what we need you to do, we will get you up out of here. So you owe us.
Black vote is treating.
But he been owe us from Obama days.
It's like treating black people like the children of the country. Like,
no.
And what am I gonna do for? And let me just go talk to. Let me go to the church. Let me go to this. Let me go to that.
That's politics. That's politicking,
and then you don't give them nothing.
Okay. That was happening before black people had hope in what their vote could do. Do you see how we really just changed the game after?
The game was only changed if we actually get what we voted for.
The game was changed because we actually voted these people in. Do you see now how the Senate has been shifted because black people have really shifted the game? Because that's why they acted up in the Capitol. We're going to get to that in a minute. But I'm just saying, like, do you see why they suppress our vote so much?
I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
My thing is, all of that is not going to mean anything if we don't get what we voted for.
Okay.
It's going to be like, then what do we do all that showing out for?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But they gotta follow. If they don't follow up,
just like Angela Rye has said, and Amanda Seales, who I love, by the way, I follow them, and I just really love who they are as people. And I love that there's such great thought leaders. They said this is just the beginning. Like, it's not done yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do our part by voting these people in. But we could certainly take them out as well. Don't say it like, okay, well, if they don't do anything, was it even worth it? Yeah, you're not going to like everybody's outcome. But at least you're going to believe that your vote matters now. You get what I'm saying?
Your vote matters.
A lot of black people did not believe that their vote mattered. But look what happened in Detroit. Look what happened in Philly. Look what happened in Atlanta. Look, we flipped states from red to blue. Like, our vote matters. So if we continue to be consistent, like you said, the word of the year last year was consistency. If we continue to be consistent, we're going to get these people in. And then when we take them out, people are going to know that we mean business.
Cool,
because we have taken our right to vote seriously now.
I got it. I'm just more focused on the people that we actually giving these positions to.
Yes. This was just like the 2016 election. This was just the cards that we had. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
That's another thing I got a problem with.
I understand what you're saying, sweetheart.
The fact that it's like, all right, here's two, pick.
I understand. But it's not going to always be like that.
That's how it's always been, and it sounds like it's going to just be like that.
Because we haven't been doing what we needed to do before. Now that we know what we need to do, we're going to put those people will have a chance to be in. The people that we really want will have a chance to be running mates. Will have a chance to have backing. You know what I mean? And then we will put the. I mean,
I would hope. People going to get behind the Libertarian and the Green Party, those independent parties?
We've done it before.
No one's ever got. I mean, the only time that happened closely.
We had a whole Black Panther Party. Like, we've had organizations before.
No, I'm talking about in politics. Like, when the closest, like when Ralph Nader, they said stole the vote from Al Gore, and that's why Bush won in 2001. And then ever since then, like, and then he got snubbed so much, like, by the Democratic Party. It's like, you know, Green Party are incredibly socialist, and then you have like Democrats, that's a little bit of socialism, and then, you know, what's the name? Republicans, of course, they off the map. But like, that was the only time where somebody that represented the independent party was at least part of that political conversation. And then ever since then, it hasn't happened because it's like, we want you to just focus on these two. Don't even look at those other guys.
Yeah, but we have opportunity to do that now. Look, we've organized. Okay, Atlanta is showing us that we can organize. We can organize, we can strategize, we can be a one unit movement. A lot of Black people do not all want the same thing. We just gonna throw that out there. That's fact already.
That's a fact.
Okay? But most of us can agree to something that we want change. Most of us. Depending on how you are or how you feel, your change might be a little different than my change. But we do want change. So I would hope that now that you've seen how Atlanta has organized, mobilized, and moved and shifted things, okay, and did something so great and monumental, I feel that you would have hope that everybody else now can jump on this bandwagon of organization, get to where we need to get to, because it's not going to happen overnight. That's why I say this is just a start. Because just like you said, we need to make sure he put his money where his mouth is. What are you going to do for the Black community?
Because we just have to keep in mind that we have to put like real pressure on the people that we just can't fall back. We get comfortable. We didn't have our foot on Obama's neck. It was good enough for him to just be Black in that position. You know what I'm saying? But now we got another white guy that's in the highest seat in the land that claims he's riding with us, and to double down on that,
we can take him right out.
He's a Black VP.
We could take him right out.
Oh, she's a woman. Y'all know y'all want her.
Look, we could take him right out. They now know that we mean business.
They just need to. We need to be. We need to be consistent and follow up with the pressure. Like,
and even with your local elections,
it's not all good. No, of course.
Every 2 years.
Local. That's even more important. Like, you know, I don't know. It's like I'm just waiting and seeing what goes down.
I understand.
As soon as he's sworn into office, let's see how his first 100 days go.
But I feel like I just want you to focus on what we did. You know what I'm saying? Because if we go back to my vote don't matter, and that's not even really. I understand, because
I used to be one of those. I used to be one of those preaching.
Do you see how we flipped that state though? We flipped that state like Georgia came in, showed up, showed out. She was like, hold my purse. Like, she just came in and said, okay, Like, I'm not playing with you guys anymore. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing we're going to do is handle this police brutality problem that we have. And if Biden could do that and eradicate these student loans, he going to get another 4 years. But okay, since we're on politics.
If Biden could solve police brutality and police misconduct and institutional racism, which is woven into the fabric of American society, and mass incarceration, and cancel student loans,
he gonna get another 4 years.
He got a fan with me.
Okay.
Those things, those eradicating those, that's
just like, a few of the many problems that black people deal with.
Those are like eradicating those issues will be a huge leap for the black community.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All right.
I don't think he's gonna do all that, but I'm saying,
we're gonna see.
We're gonna see what he tried. We're gonna see what he tried to do.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see how this goes, how this pans out. Let's have him deal with this pandemic, which I hope does not take longer than his 4-year tenure. Cause I mean, like, we gotta do something now.
Nah, I doubt it.
But since we're on the topic of politics, I mean, the Capitol, like.
A bunch of guys
2021, we just can't get through the first week without like peace. Like
a bunch of Duck Dynasty rednecks and swarmed the joint.
Duck Dynasty.
Police were like, "Hey, come on in."
I mean, that's just
pointing niggas in the direction of like the officers. Yo, it's just all an inside job. It's all just.
I believe that.
Like,
with my whole heart.
we watched them let them in. They're taking selfies. These are their friends. Like, you gotta understand. Like,
but
a lot of these guys.
Before that, sweetheart, I knew that it was an inside job because we couldn't even get on the lawn of the Capitol building.
Look, you will get shot down. Like, you will, like, if that was anybody with any kind of melanin. Like, it would have been over for his black ass. Like, that's just how that go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, like, listen, I like, it was really surprising to see live on the news. It was, but like, my heart, I just could not be shocked. I'm like, yo, like,
I was shocked.
But if they were black, of course, because we black. It's about race. It's always about race.
It's always about race. It's never not going to be about race for anything that happens in this country. Race will always rear its ugly head in somewhere. It's going to be in every conversation. And if you don't talk about race, then you're in denial, and you're not a person that I would like to be associated with.
Straight up.
Point blank in the period. But anyway, back to this point. I knew that it was. First of all, I was shocked. It surprised me, or it triggered me, of how they were being treated. You know, it triggered me because it was just least like. Surprising. But it triggered me. I know it wasn't like shocking.
No, I understand.
I was shocked that they really got that far. I was shocked. I was like, how did they even... I saw a video after a few hours of watching it that one of the people had a police shield breaking the window to get inside. So the police just dropping their shields now?
No, he probably he gave it to his mans.
Yeah.
And he broke the window.
But it was just like, you gotta be kidding. The federal building?
Bro, a lot of those guys that was in there were probably cops themselves. A lot of the people that was swarming there were probably cops, ex-military dudes, and then just their families. Like, hey, let's walk up inside the building. You know, I know the guy that's guarding the. They're like, hey, what's up, Jim Bob? Walk on in.
It was definitely inside. It couldn't have happened any other way, because I'm just like, bro, you can't even get on the lawn without getting checked. So how did you even get past the gate? How would you even get to the steps to go up there? I thought at first it was the Lincoln Memorial, because I'm like, oh, okay, it was the Lincoln Memorial, so they can go there. But then I'm like, nah. And Sebastien was like, nah, that's not the Lincoln Memorial. It's like, yeah, that's not the Lincoln Memorial. So it was an inside job. It just was just like so quick to me. It came so quick before all of these videos. It was just like, oh, this is an inside job. And then that triggered me, because I'm just like, we were literally protesting months ago, and I was foolishly asked the question, why are they not shooting them? And then Sebastien was like, you want to know why? Just your plus, I was like, you want to know why?
Because that's their son, that's their uncle, that's their daughter.
He didn't even have to respond. I was just like, yeah,
that's their brother, that's their cousin. Like, they're all one. It's one big happy family.
So that was triggering. It was shocking to me. I think it was shocking that they really got that far and they were inside. And then to add more tea to the cup, They were armed. They were armed. And I know you said to me, like, you can't even go through to City Hall without them checking your bag and you going through the metal detector 3 times. A federal building, you're armed.
You can't walk into the you can't walk into the Prudential Center and do that.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And that's an arena. Like, that's not even
So we know what's going on.
We
like,
knew
so
that,
I don't got no questions. Like, I know, like,
the
same people that's on the inside or on the outside, like, that was all.
Armed.
That was one big happy family on that Capitol building. That was the white cookout.
A shootout. Like, seriously?
Yeah, one woman died. They just arrested the dude that that took the letter from Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, her desk.
Listen.
It's just crazy. Like,
I'm just all I need.
But white people aren't scared of the cops. Like, even in their
day to day,
they
were never. When they were protesting after us or right before us about they don't want to be inside anymore, and they had their arms, like everything was just like they were protesting not wanting to wear a mask, and they had guns, and the police was just standing there like whatever. But then we were protesting not getting killed on a daily basis, and we were getting beat up. Cop cars were rolling over protesters in New York City. It's a melee between the cops and the people, all because we don't want to die on a daily. And these people just walk right into a federal building where there's snipers right across the street and just did whatever they wanted to do.
Snipers was on break.
No, they weren't on break. Mm-hmm. They just were just chilling.
They came back from lunch like, yo, y'all heard what happened at that thing we be guarding?
So, I follow someone and I didn't have words. I didn't even address it on my social media because I was just like, I don't have any words. And she goes, I'm so done with white people just doing whatever they want to do and not being held accountable for it. And I think she just said it perfectly. Because we were just like, I don't think everybody was really shocked. I was shocked about the whole federal thing because, I just didn't think it would really get that far. I didn't think it could get that far, federal building. But I was shocked about that. But I was triggered, but I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset at all. I was just like, wow, like, it was crazy. And then the words that I didn't have, she was just able to say. She's like, I'm tired of them just doing whatever they want and not being held accountable. And that's what it is. White people just doing whatever they want and not being killed over it. Whatever they want. Whatever they want. Meanwhile, a black person walks out of their front door and could easily be shot, dead. They're just walking.
Ain't our country.
It's not. And then, to your point about Biden, he's out of touch, talking about something that's not the America that we're in. You just keep that speech for yourself right now. You're not doing too good with that little speech. Go back in your chambers and get Kamala out here so she can talk to us, because that speech was not it.
That's the America she know.
She know this America. She knows that one. You don't know this America, but she knows. So let her talk to us real quick. And then we're going to, figure it out. But, it would just... We're not talking about that at work either. It was a letter, but there's no conversation. No. But that's okay. I'm over that part. But it's triggering. It's triggering.
America's disdain for black people supersedes their need to keep white people comfortable. If you see...
Come on, somebody preaching. Monsieur Francois.
If you see like a white guy protesting with a whole bunch of black men about a black man that got murdered, they're not gonna try to pull the white guy from the black guy and save him and get those guys. They're gonna arrest all of them. Like, they're gonna run over everybody. Like, they hate us that much. It's like, all right, well, if you're on that side, then y'all could just go with him. But I guarantee you, I bet you Killer Mike would save Daniel Cameron if he was getting beat up by the police. I bet you
think so.
I bet he'll help out. Cause man, this black struggle, we all kind of share it. He's definitely in bed with the enemy. But like, if I saw Candace Owens getting jumped by a bunch of white men, Like, I'll save her. We're not gonna be friends, but that's a black woman at the end of the day. Like, granted, I get the side she's on, but I feel I don't know all our skinfolk and our kinfolk, but there's just I don't know.
They would let you get lashings on the field.
I mean, not all black men would do it, but I'm still like, but I feel like
those particular people you named will definitely
Killer Mike
be okay.
Probably.
No, not Killer Mike.
That's
the people that he would save.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, cause I'm trying to think
they
of
won't
I'm trying to think of people that are definitely
you.
on that side.
But as a Christian, you do have to,
I mean, just
turn the other cheek.
As a black man, like, because here's the thing, like, like it don't matter what party you affiliate yourself with or what side you on. It don't matter. That black skin, that's what keeps us like bonded forever.
Didn't you?
Because that could happen. Because that's gonna not all cops are gonna know Daniel Cameron.
Yeah.
He could go to freaking Arizona where somebody don't know him, a white cop, just see a black man and just handle him the way they handle anybody.
Yeah.
Like that. It don't matter what you do. You could love Trump. You could sleep with Mitch McConnell's daughter. You could sleep with Mitch McConnell, nigga. Like, it don't matter.
That's not what happened. Allegedly.
No. Yeah. I will know. But my point is, like, you got black skin. So it don't matter what you do, what you say, who you align yourself with, what you do or don't do, you will always have that target on your back.
Man.
No matter what side you affiliate. So don't try to run over there for safety, nigga. You're not safe. You'll never be safe. Like that's just
you can't just
unzip
the skin.
We all we got.
Like,
we can't hop out of that.
How do you?
Like,
you want me to take my skin off?
No cop uniform could cover it up.
Like,
that's just what it is.
It's just weird.
That's just what it is, though. But I mean,
can't.
And eventually,
bleach enough.
Eventually, you gotta
to not look black. We don't want to do that, but I'm just saying.
Eventually, all black. Eventually, you'll find out the ones on that side. Eventually, they're gonna find out the hard way. Like, but it is what it is, and it's a hard lesson learned.
It didn't work out for Samuel Jackson and Django, so. Yep. Anywho, deep conversations. You're no longer, in a nutshell, the verdict is you're no longer surprised. You're no longer affected.
Nope.
I am still going through my emotions and feelings about it and trying to cope as best as I can, aside from just life in general, because we are dealing with a lot more. As black women, we deal with a lot more too. We deal with a lot more just adjusting in life, period. And I think my load, I'm still trying to figure out how to handle. And with the turmoil, COVID, safety measures, living in this time that we are in is hard for me to adjust. But I'm so happy that I have a husband to talk to, but I also want to co-sign and strongly encourage, if you do need to talk to someone, talk to a therapist, talk to someone you trust, vent, let it out, because it's healthy for your mental health. And that was another big thing for us in 2020. Consistency was a big thing, and mental health was a major thing. So go ahead and take care of your mental health, because if your mental health is not right, your physical health is not right, and you don't want to be in a state of depression and all of that other stuff, it gets too real, and we don't want to have to deal with that. Not for our people. We've dealt with too much. With that said, I think we kind of covered everything that we wanted to cover, Monsieur Francois. What do you think?
Yeah, this is we done here. We done here. We wild out
for now.
This is the longest joint, but we'll just wrap this up. I'm just gonna wrap this up with a couple of goals that we have for this year. Well, I'll start with some goals that I'll even just have for myself. Hopefully, this will be a year where things are looking up a little bit more. I'll be releasing an album at the top of this year.
Come on!
I've been working on for probably about 2 years.
Yes, sir.
I finally buckled down and got it done. I'm I'm happy with it. I think the project's gonna be incredible.
It is. I've heard some songs. You know, he did his thing on this one.
I appreciate you, wife. I appreciate that.
I love
But
you.
so I'm trying to get that out to the people, and I'm talking to a lot of people on my team. Some important people are the best ways to get it out, market it, and all that stuff. I'm shooting a video. My brother Lawrence, LC, director extraordinaire. My song "Walking in My Purpose." That's just I'm just trying to step it up a lot with the music this year. So that's like a huge goal I have for myself this year. Step it up there. Also with real music. That's my our brand. Clothing, the merch,
that's
all that
baby.
stuff. Yeah, man. Like for years, we got a new distributor. Man. Shout out to my man PJ from the 10th Clothing. Like now we got we got some more hoodies being made. So definitely, hit me up if you want one. Like we'll get them out to you, man. Good quality, saying keep you warm during these cold times. You feel me? Get those real hoodies in your life, man. Have the shirts for the summer, all the good stuff. But yeah, so those are my goals for this year.
Oh,
real music wise.
Cool.
You feel me? I want to get focused on that.
All right. My goals is my number one priority goal for sure is to take a trip. Okay. We've been stuck in this house too long.
Facts.
And it's just been getting too chaotic. I definitely want to experience a tropical vacation. I can just smell the beach water right now. Anyway, I would love to take a trip this year. Pending COVID, I don't know how realistic that is. But we just go and pray to God and see if he allows it to happen. And then I'll be on the first thing flying. I do want to begin writing again, music. I would love to buckle down and just start writing and see where it goes from there. And I definitely want to keep growing in ministry. I want to stay steadfast and unmovable on my solid rock. I actually am going to start my word saturation journey. Well, I have started it, and I want to stay committed to my word saturation journey by reading my Bible cover to cover. I'm doing personal Bible study. I've actually been into a program. I've started a program called the Bible Study, and it's getting to know the Bible in a year span. So look that up if you don't know about it, but I can talk about it a little bit more. If you really want to know, drop a comment. And I do want to literally know my word cover to cover, get deep in ministry. Those are my goals, and I'm excited about that. Those are attainable goals though, because they're actually happening right now. Oh, and weight loss journey, staying healthy.
Facts.
Keeping healthy.
Stay the course, man.
Stay the course.
I be having my binge moments, and it ain't right.
It's not right.
Like yesterday, I wilded out. I'm not even gonna say what I ate, but but just know I did it, and it's all gone. So I'm about to just get back on my square, and just keep up what I've been doing. So yeah. So that's how the goals. Those are really my short term goals. Like everything I'm named is something I want to handle like within the next 3 months or so, and then I'll see how my goals change and progress throughout the course of the year. If I obtain some more, throughout any other experience that happens. But I'm just gonna stay the course and do what I got to do. But hopefully this year will be a great and prosperous one.
Yeah, it'll be a better one for us all. I pray that you all have a wonderful year ahead. And even though we are going to possibly see the pandemic for the next 4 to 5 months more, I hope that you yourself have personal breakthroughs and personal growths and attain goals that you would like to do or achieve in this year. And I pray that your family is covered and that you're still healthy and you make it to see 2022.
All right, so
we're going to end this off.
The verse of the week is actually my favorite verse. It's 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 states, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind." And that has always resonated with me, because I feel like when we have those moments of fear, and especially with the course of how last year went, and even with how this year is starting and how it's going, we'd be lies to say that we don't have fear in us. What just the fear of just how things are going to turn out with everything that's going on, or even how these leaders that we elected are going to effectively lead our country, and just also with the this pandemic that's still, running rampant in this country. Like, we're going to have fear in us, but just know that, that the spirit of fear don't come from the Lord, it comes from the enemy. God gives us the spirit of love. We have love, we have power, we have a sound. All of those positive attributes, that's what comes from God. Like, we're powerful. We have love, and we have, a sound mind. Like, with those three things, we'll be able to conquer anything that comes our way during the course of this year. And just stay prayed up and stay strong.
Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. God will keep you. Stay connected to Him. Great verse of the week, babe. Really good choice. Good job.
You got it.
Ready to pray out?
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Father God, bless Sebastien and Claushelle. Bless the listeners. May they be at peace, find joy, and always seek you first. Thank you for this opportunity once again to glorify you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, season 2, episode 1. We are wrapping up and rolling out.
Later.